This is Cerebral Cinema. Movies of the mind.
Cerebral Cinema and the WON Radio Network present to you Superwoman. Yes, Superwoman, the dynamic crime fighter. Superwoman, the champion of justice. Superwoman, who in truth is mild-mannered Chicago news reporter Emily Nesbacher.
Now, Del Monte Foods brings you a world of adventure with Rocky Jordan.
And I am Rocky Jordan. We take you now to Cairo and the Cafe Turine for a world of adventure with Rocky Jordan.
Well, Jordan, I see you have found a cool place under the ceiling fan.
Oh, Sam, what brings the pride of the Cairo police force to the tambourine?
Need I have a reason?
Of course not. Have a chair.
Here, just for a moment. The Nile rises well.
Oh, that's interesting. What else is on your mind?
Oh, it is only that I have not seen you in many days. A strange calm seems to have settled over your life.
Oh, I'd say that's your good luck.
Perhaps. However, for one such as you who thrives on excitement and adventure, life must become a bit restive, shall we say?
Shall we? I hadn't noticed.
Incidentally, I noticed your bartender Chris handles things quite capably here. Should you be away.
All right, Sam. What's it all about?
I'm merely wondering if for once you would be interested in adventure only for adventure's sake.
What do you got in mind?
A great deal, Jordan. Now, about this prospective adventure. Does it interest you?
It might. Why?
I thought it would. Come with me.
The Cafe Tambourine, crowded with tourists, camel drivers, women, cheats, forgotten men down on their luck, the lonely and the lost. For this is Cairo, gateway to the ancient East, where modern adventure and intrigue unfold against a backdrop of antiquity. Tonight's Rocky Jordan story, Adventure in Zaqaziq. The desert heat had settled down like a tent over Cairo, and the big fan on my tambourine ceiling had been doing plenty of overtime with me under it. That's when Captain Sam Sabaya of the Cairo police had come in with a lot of talk about adventure for adventure's sake. He had me interested. So we got in his limousine, and he switched back to the standard topic of conversation in Egypt, the flowing Nile River, till he pulled up at the internal security building in the government center. Inside, he picked a door that said B. Bellotti. Sam introduced me to the chubby man behind the desk. We sat down, and B. Bellotti looked me over real carefully.
Well, Captain, this man is desert-wise? He is, Mr. Bellotti. And this man knows little fear? Such is my observation. Good. Mr. Jordan, what I am about to say is confidential. If you're interested, excellent. If not, that is your prerogative. But nothing is to be repeated after you leave here. You understand?
Well, only that much so far.
Very well. Our problem is one of robbery. Not of money, sir, but of valuable medical supplies.
Well, somebody must be pretty sick.
Please realize, Mr. Jordan, while medicines such as penicillin are plentiful in your country, they are extremely rare throughout the Middle East and sorely needed.
Yeah, sure, I follow. Go on, Mr. Bellotti.
Repeatedly, shipments of the supplies have been raided and stolen after reaching Egypt. The loss already amounts to well over $10,000 in market value.
But worth a lot more in the black market.
As you say, they could bring 5 times, perhaps 10 times their original price. Now, we do not know who is involved, but we have a feeling that the center of operations is... I will show you here on the wall map. The little town of Zaqaziq, located here, north and east on the delta at important crossroads. The stolen supplies are probably hidden somewhere near there.
Now, let's get right to the point, huh?
Very well. An American en route to Zaqaziq has just been arrested by our customs officials. His name is Harry Evans.
Am I supposed to know him?
No, but we believe that he had made previous arrangements to purchase the black market supplies there. This is our chance to uncover the entire ring.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get it. But you tell me.
We want you, Mr. Jordan, to go to Zakazek in Mr. Evans' place.
Look, Mr. Bellotti, you got men to handle that kind of job.
Unfortunately, there is no time for us to get a regular police agent, an American such as you. Mr. Evans is due to arrive in Zakazek early tomorrow morning.
All you want me to do is walk in and convince everybody that I'm Harry Evans, just like that.
It is our opinion that they have never seen him in person. But, even so, it will be a distinct risk on your part.
It's one way of putting it.
The black market ring is well organized and dangerous. Make no mistake about that. But it must be uncovered and broken. Well, Mr. Jordan?
I'll think about it.
You must realize that an immediate decision is necessary. I will give you a short moment. Again, I repeat, it is entirely up to you.
Sam, what are you getting me into?
If you wish to say no, Jordan.
How does that guy say no to a request like that? I can't, and you know it.
Is that your answer, then?
Well, it's not that simple. Anyhow, how would I make contact?
The sellers will undoubtedly approach you.
Supposing they do. What about the buying?
You will be supplied with $35,000 in American money, marked, of course, for later identification.
And what then? What if they ask how I'll get the stuff out?
Tell them you have a plane waiting nearby to fly the medicines into Arabia.
And what's my contact with you or Bellotti?
A water seller will be stationed for that purpose in front of the Suez Hotel, where Mr. Evans has his reservation. I will be at the hotel in Shola Mineral Springs, about 30 kilometers from Zaqaziq, ostensibly on vacation.
You've thought of everything, haven't you?
Yes, we hope so. Will you do what he asks then, Jordan?
All right, Sam. What other choice have I got? Mr. Bellotti came back in then at 2 minutes to the second. He briefed me for a while and then fixed me up with my new identification. After that, I went back to the tambourine and arranged with Chris to take over. I wondered if I'd ever see him or the tambourine again. That night, I boarded the train for Zaqaziq. I was there early the next morning, and a taxi dropped me at the Suez Hotel. Right away, I knew well Bellotti had set his plans.
Water, Effendi. Cool, pure water from the bubbling springs of Sholam.
You get on the job early.
Always I remain here to serve in whatever way I am needed.
Sure, I'll see you later.
As you wish, Effendi. Water, sparkling.
The water seller was playing his part well, and it was good to know I wasn't alone on the job. So I decided to check in.
Ah, yes. We have your reservation, sir. The room is ready. If you will sign here, Mr. Evans.
Yeah, sure.
Boy, here. Kindly show Mr. Evans to room 209.
At once. This way, Mr. Evans.
Well, all I could do was wait, and it wasn't easy. The water seller kept to his post outside. I went from my room to the lobby, waiting for some move, but none came. I didn't like it. But I was in it now, and there was no getting out. That evening, I had some dinner in the hotel restaurant, sitting by the wall where I could keep an eye out. I was alone, except for a heavy-set Turk with a pretty Egyptian girl eating silently across the room. And then after a while, a party of 4 came in. An American, the graying, successful type, complete with cane, his talkative wife, and a couple of local boys wearing expensive tarbushes. The woman kept looking my way, and I wondered what it meant. Suddenly, she got up and came directly to my table.
You poor, lonely man.
Oh, do I impress you that way, lady?
Of course you do. You're an American, I can tell. All Americans get lonely when they're alone. I'm Mrs. Bundy, and I insist that you join us at our table.
Well,
I won't take no for an answer. Whatever you have to do here, you can do at our table.
Oh, I think I get what you mean. All right, Mrs. Bundy.
Now, that's more like it. Oh, silly me, I didn't even get your name.
Evans. Harry Evans.
Harry Evans. What a nice name. I'm Mrs. Bundy. Oh, but I told you that, didn't I?
Well, my dear.
Oh, no. Don't get up, anyone. Jeffrey, darling, I want you to meet Mr. Evans.
How do you do, Mr. Evans?
Fine, thank you, Mr. Bundy.
And this is Mr. Achman, mayor of Zaqaziq, and Mr. Kemal, agricultural supervisor for this district.
How do you do?
Now, let's all sit down and enjoy ourselves.
Well, it's great to see a fellow American again, Mr. Evans. Just passing through, I suppose.
Well, as a matter of fact...
Now, everyone keep quiet while Mr. Evans tells us all about New York. You'll do that, won't you, Mr. Evans?
Well, I'll tell you what I can. It's been quite a while.
Oh, dear, I miss New York so much. Egypt isn't the same. Cotton, nothing but cotton.
Yes, cotton, Mr. Evans. Long staple. Fairly profitable, I might say. What is your line?
Well, right at the moment,
Oh,
Mr.
business. Now, you men can talk about that tonight.
Tonight?
Oh, I didn't tell you about the party at our house. Just a few friends. Mr. Kemal and Mr. Achman are coming, aren't you, dears? Now, of course you are.
Join us by all means, Mr. Evans. 9 o'clock sharp.
Well, I'll make it if I can. Now, if you will excuse me.
Oh, of course, dear boys. Run along. But remember tonight, you can tell us some more about New York.
I decided this wasn't the contact, not in that kind of company, so I waited some more. Just long enough to get through the lobby, up the stairs, and down the hall to my room.
Come in, Evans. Shut the door.
It was the heavy-set Turk I'd spotted down in the restaurant. The girl wasn't with him now, but a squirrel-eyed guy who played with knives was. He put his back to the door as I went in.
Just to ensure a quiet talk, Evans.
Did your friend talk too?
Yes, as you can see, he has a very sharp tongue.
Now, we don't need any rough stuff. Let's get on with it.
Get on with what?
Now, you came here, you name it.
You could be Evans.
Suppose we get acquainted all around, then.
You may call me Gino.
It's as good a name as any.
You have the money?
$35,000.
Where is it?
The hotel's safe.
Get it changed into Egyptian pounds.
Why? American dollars are better.
I said get it changed to pounds.
Okay, Gino, right away.
Wait, Evans. Let us say that I deliver certain merchandise. How do you get it out?
There's a plane waiting to fly it into Arabia. That satisfy you?
Perhaps. How and when did you arrive in Egypt?
Flew from Rome to Cairo yesterday afternoon.
At exactly what time?
3:15.
We will check. Go mark up.
So what happens now? Somebody else have to give the okay?
Just have the money. We will contact you when we are sure. And when we are ready.
Now, they were playing it very careful. I'd expected that, but Gino had thrown me with a real problem. That of changing the money. The marked dollars Bellotti had given me wouldn't be worth anything now. I had to get the word to Sam. The water cellar was my pipeline, so after a little waiting, I went down and out front. The night street was all but deserted. Even the water cellar was gone. I moved up the street trying to spot him, till a ragged native came running up a nearby alley.
Effendi! Help, Effendi, sir! Come quickly!
What is it? Tell me.
There in the alley, sir. A most wretched man has fallen by the knife. Hurry! Help, everybody!
I made it fast into the alley, somehow knowing just who I'd find. When I reached the huddled heap by the wall, I knew I was right. He was the little water cellar, and I wasn't any too soon.
Mr. Jordan, it is good that you have come.
Don't try to talk. Here, let me help you.
No, quickly. Take this key.
Tell me, who did it?
The key. Take it and go. Before you are seen here. Go.
He was beyond any help. I knew now I was in it up to my ears. With the death of the water cellar, my one contact with Sam Sabaya was gone. They called me Harry Evans in Zaqaziq, but now I wondered if the wrong people knew who I really was. The water cellar had made a fatal slip. Maybe I was next. Back in my room at the hotel, I had a look at the key the water cellar had placed in my hand. It had a big drop in the mailbox tag attached with the address of the Shalom Mineral Springs Hotel where Sam Sabaya was staying nearby. I kept fiddling with it, wondering what it meant, till all at once the big tag snapped open. It was empty, but I realized it had been the water cellar's safe way of getting word to Sam. I wrote a quick note to Sam telling him his water cellar was dead and to get me a new contact, that I'd been approached by a Turk named Gino, and about the problem of exchanging the dollars I had for Egyptian pound notes. Now my problem was getting the key into the mailbox without being seen. When I reached the lobby, I saw it wouldn't be easy. Gino and his sidekick were there watching, so I moved into the cocktail lounge and carefully dropped the key on the floor near the bar. I was about to go.
A moment, Mr. Harry Evans.
I turned to see the Egyptian girl who'd been sitting in the restaurant with Gino earlier that evening.
Rhonda Hassan, do you not remember?
Gino wouldn't like you talking to strangers.
You have changed, have you not? Since I married you in Port Said 3 years ago.
Maybe we'd better sit down.
I think so, too. You may order a brandy for me.
Yeah, sure. Oh, 2 brandies here.
Thank you, Harry.
You're welcome.
By the way, where is my former husband?
Well, you might try missing persons.
You carry it off very well, whoever you are. I think you and I will get on very nicely.
Well, that all depends, doesn't it?
Ah, the brandy.
Oh, here you are. Oh, keep the change.
I do not think I will tell Gino what I know.
If you know anything.
When I explain, you will see. It is necessary that I get out of Egypt very quickly. I want to go to your country, to America.
Oh, police on your trail, too?
Yes, but why is not important. I know that you are not Harry Evans. I think you are with the police, who will do anything to uncover a ring which steals and sells rare medical supplies on the black market.
I'm not a cop. I can't do anything.
You are wise to admit nothing. But I'm sure you can arrange with the authorities to get me out of Egypt in return for what I can tell them about the black market ring.
Look, did Gino send you in here?
Yes, but he does not know what I'm saying, which is true. Now do what I ask. I will keep my mouth shut about you.
Oh, you can tell me something. Why is Gino taking his time about selling?
It is his way. He will toil with you a day or two, observe your movements, and then approach you for the sale.
Yeah.
But your help for me had better come before that time.
Oh, Mr. Evans, there you are, dear boy.
Oh, Miss Hassan, this is Mr. and Mrs. Bundy.
How do you do? You're coming to my party now, aren't you?
Please do, old boy. Just a quiet affair. We'd like to have you.
Bring the young lady along if you like.
Well, I'm afraid I won't be able to make it, Mrs. Bundy. Sorry.
Oh, don't apologize. We understand. Oh, Jeffrey, someone dropped the key on the floor. Pick it up, why don't you?
If you like, my dear. Says the Sholem Springs Hotel. Return postage guaranteed. This yours, Mr. Evans?
Of course it isn't his, Jeffrey. Can't you see he's staying here? We can drop the key in the mailbox on the way out.
Very well, my dear. Come along. We'll see you later, Mr. Evans.
Yeah, sure.
And I will see you later, too. Will I not, Mr. Evans?
I didn't answer. Rhonda finished her drink and went out, and I sat there trying to figure her. Maybe she was just Gino's way of toying with me, maybe a lot more. Anyhow, Mrs. Bundy had taken care of my mailing problem. And then came more waiting. Just before bank closing time the next day, I decided to get the dollar bills changed for pounds, with Gino's squirrel-eyed friend hovering always in the background. But no word from Gino, nor Sam. The third day came, and it was getting monotonous, with the feeling everything was closing in, and not just the heat now. In the evening, I went out on the street for a breath of air.
Ah, Effendi, the shoes hold the sand of the desert. For a little bakshish, I will shine them like silver.
No, not this time. Himshi.
Please, Effendi, for bakshish, I shine the shoes or serve in whatever way I am needed.
2 piastres. Make it quick.
As you say, sir.
You do something besides shine shoes?
Keep the eyes from my face, Mr. Jordan. I do not wish to suffer the fate of the poor water seller.
Forget the water cellar. Where you from?
From the springs of Sholem, sent by the good Captain Sabaya.
Did he get a message?
Yours, Mr. Jordan, sent in the hotel key.
Go on. What's he say?
To remain and wait. The plan is working well.
Tell him not to be too sure. How long do I wait?
It should not be long. When Gino decides, he will move fast.
It better be soon.
There, Effendi. The most beautiful shine. The piastres, please.
All right, here you are. Thanks.
Mutushakir. When you want another shine, I will be close by.
I went back to the hotel, figuring I'd sit it out some more. But when I unlocked the door to my room, I didn't have to wait anymore.
We will move now, Mr. Evans.
Now, you could save the time, Gino.
You have the money in pounds?
I've got it.
Then everything is ready.
Not till I see the supplies, all of them.
Then come, we will go.
Where to?
You will find out. Come now.
We went down. I picked up the money from the safety box, and then we were out on the street toward Gino's covered Jeep. I noticed the shoeshine fellow watching from a doorway. Not till we got to the car did I see that somebody else was there. Not Gino's helper, but the girl, Rhonda Hahn. She didn't look at me as I got in. Gino drove fast out of town through miles of cotton fields and then over some barren sand dunes till we came to a place that looked like the ruins of an ancient Roman fort with one small building still intact.
Straight ahead, Evans.
You picked a good hiding place. It's all in there, Gino?
Yes, everything. Go in.
Hold it, Gino.
I said go in.
Gino's foot in my back had sent me stumbling inside. I fell against the table and rolled to the floor as the door was slammed and locked. Then I saw by a dim light that something else had fallen to the floor. I picked it up. I'd seen it before. It was the hotel key that I thought had been mailed to Sam Zabaya. Just then the blue-white light of a gasoline pressure lantern cut the gloom, and I knew I wasn't alone. There were two of them, Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Bundy, and Jeffrey still had his cane.
Get up, Mr. Jordan, get up.
Hurry up, Mr. Jordan. We haven't much time.
Well, I'll bet I missed a great party.
It was a delightful affair. You would have enjoyed it.
You see, we were not sure of you then.
Now that you got a hold of this key.
Yes, very conveniently. It was nice of you to drop it right where we would find it. The message inside told us everything we wanted to know.
Oh, the shoeshine man was your plant, too. Sophia hadn't sent him at all.
Excellent, Mr. Jordan.
Is everything clear to you now?
That means you two are the big stuff. You got quite a partnership.
Very efficient one, Mr. Jordan. How about the real Harry Evans? Where is he?
Well, he was your boy, only the police have got him now.
What has he told them? What do they know?
All about the hijacking of a lot of penicillin for the black market, but Zaqazik's the pinpoint. They'll get the rest.
Enough of this.
Wait, just one more thing. Since coming to Zaqaziq, have you been in touch with the police in any way?
After you had Gino get rid of the water cellar? That's something you'd like to know, isn't it?
Really doesn't matter, Mr. Jordan, now.
Yes, come, my dear. What happens here now isn't for the eyes of a delicate woman.
Oh, Jeffrey, you are so considerate. Gino, you may come in now. Goodbye, Mr. Jordan.
Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Bundy stepped to the heavy door as it was unlocked and swung open. They went out as Gino came in, still followed by the girl Rhonda. It seemed all in a day's work as Gino came toward me with a knife, Rhonda still behind him. And just as he was a step away from me, I saw Rhonda's right arm go up fast. It held a gun that caught Gino hard over the ear.
He is quite harmless now, Mr. Jordan.
Yeah. Thanks, Rhonda. But why?
This will show you I am on your side.
I didn't make a deal with you. I couldn't if I'd wanted to.
All I want is to be permitted to go safely out of Egypt. You can...
I have no authority. Believe me, I can't promise a thing.
But you can try. Please, Mr. Jordan, it is my only chance. You must help me. I helped you.
I know, Rhonda. Of course I'll try.
Gino, what's going on in there?
Hurry up, Gino. Mr. Jordan, I must answer them. First, take the gun.
Give it to me. What about you, Rhonda?
In case you do not get away, I must be clear. I must protect myself. That is fair, is it not?
It's fair. Answer him now.
Mr. Bundy, come! He is getting away!
Gino, Rhonda, what is...
The Bundys came running in, the missus first. She took one look at Gino on the floor, let out a scream, and fainted right on top of him. But Bundy did better. He swung his cane and knocked the gun from my hand. Now the swing bounced off my head. The next time I was ready. I grabbed hold of his wrist, flipped him over my head, down on top of the other two, to make it three of a kind.
Pick up the gun, Mr. Jordan. It is still yours. And what now?
Well, I'll stay here. You take the Jeep back into Zaqaziq and call Sam Sabaya. Get him here as quick as you can.
Do you trust me that much?
I'll take the chance. Get going, Rhonda. Well, Sam and some government boys showed up in record time. He sent a couple of them to pick up the phony shoeshine man and Gino's squirrel-eyed helper, and all of us rode back into Cairo. The medicine supplies were found in one of the Bundy cotton warehouses. So Mr. Bellotti got back the penicillin, and the others got the pen. Rhonda had a debt to pay, but she'd proved herself, and it looked like she'd soon get her freedom to America. Me? Oh, I'm right back where I started, trying to find a cool spot under the tambourine fan.
Rocky Jordan, written by Gomer Cool and John Dunkel, stars Jack Moyles with Jay Novello as Sam Sabaya. Also featured in tonight's cast were Gene Bates, Byron Kane, Bill Conrad, Paul Frees, and Lou Krugman as Greco.
Cerebral Cinema hopes you have enjoyed this movie of the mind.